July 2012. Good evening and welcome to KTN Prime. My name is Eric Latif.
Thank you for making time to join us this evening. I am Anne Kiguta, and let me take you through our top stories this evening.
This document has mentioned you in a number of ways. I'm here as a friend. If I say I haven't read it, please give me the courtesy of accepting that. Thank you.
Face-off over the alleged UK dossier on the ICC. Grumbling within police ranks in Nairobi over pay increase delays.
The strike is real, and as we said earlier on, it will take the miracles of angels to stop it.
Now both Nut and Cuphead threaten massive strikes in September. And another ferry sinks near Zanzibar with 250 people on board.
Are you glad you joined us? Parliament's investigation into the alleged leaked UK dossier on the ICC turned dramatic today when former Ethics Permanent Secretary John Githongo and former Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Chairperson Maina Kiai told MPs that they have not read the dossier.
Well, Parliament's Defence Committee members were furious with the two, but Githongo and Kiai and ICPC Executive Director Ndongo Wainaina stood their ground, forcing the committee to give them time to go through the document before testifying. KTN's Asha Mwilu reports.
The Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Foreign Affairs resumed its probe on the authenticity of a leaked UK dossier disowned by London, which alleges of a conspiracy to indict President Kibaki at the ICC over the post-poll chaos after his second term expires. Former Ethics and Governance PS John Githongo and former chair of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Maina Kiai appeared before the committee alongside civil rights activist Ndongo Wainaina. But as soon as the sittings kicked off, the three clashed with the team members on the agenda of the meeting.
We wanted to get your input on this infamous document called the UK dossier.
The committee shared with us three questions. That allegations have been made that we have close ties with ICC witnesses, that we have close ties with the financial supporters of the ICC, that there exists a relationship between our individual organizations and the ICC.
I'm not sure who knows who they are, but I have absolutely no apologies to make for having relationships with people who might be witnesses.
At this point, the grilling quickly degenerated into a heated debate.
This is the first time I've seen it. If had my name in it, I probably would have been drawn attention to it. But my friend, my colleague, Mr. Githongo, has read it, and maybe he can comment on it.
No, just a minute.
Just a minute before you say. Mr. Maina Kiai, I think you'll be completely out of our procedures for you to direct another witness before this committee.
The committee declined to listen to their submissions and will summon the trio to appear before it separately after they read the dossier. It's a document that has been described as highly sensitive by the Kenyan Parliament because it even caused a diplomatic tiff between Nairobi and London. Now, the Eden Kenyan team has been probing the issue for more than 3 months and has interviewed close to 20 people. The committee now says that it most likely will present its final report to the House on the first week of August when MPs resume their sittings. Reporting for KTN, I'm Asha Mwilu in Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Asha. Now, it has emerged that police officers have been jamming police communication, protesting the delayed salary hike.
Well, response to police emergencies, according to some police officers who spoke to KTN, might be affected if the jamming of radio communication is not stopped.
Here now is KTN's Dennis Onsarigo with his silent murmuring within the rank and file of the Kenya Police.
This is not the first time that regular police officers are jamming police radio communication systems over what they claim is a promise the government has failed to honor. Regular and administration police officers were promised a 28% salary hike last year, only for the government to pay them 14%, slightly boosting their monthly earnings. The increase came after days of a quiet go-slow among junior police officers who jammed police radio communication systems, making it impossible for police officers on the beat to respond to emergencies or receive instructions from the police radio room. Since Tuesday, junior police officers have been jamming communication by playing music or engaging in name calling, disrupting police communication, especially in Nairobi. The officers protested over a pay hike awarded to National Youth Service personnel by the Public Service Ministry. A senior police officer told KTN the National Youth Service is no longer ranked with security agencies but only offers supportive services to the police. Junior police officers who spoke to KTN from Kisumu say the go-slow is slowly eating into the official police communication lines in the lakeside town of Kisumu. In 2010, the government agreed to increase police salaries by 84%. The salaries were to be paid out in 3 phases over a period of 3 years. The government is yet to pay the remaining 42% of the payout. With the country on its highest alert ever from threats of terrorism, a fast approach to contain the growing murmurs within the rank and file of the police force will be a reassuring one. Denson Sarigo, KTN Prime.
It appears to be just some case of sibling rivalry. Just 2 days after civil servants received a pay hike, teachers are now threatening to paralyze operations in schools across the country come September unless their remuneration grievances are addressed. The teachers say that this action is necessitated by the government's move to grant civil servants pay hike while it continues to drag its feet over the implementation of a 1997 agreement. KTN's Will Kitengela reports.
For the second time this year, teachers across the country are threatening to down their chalks.
It will take the miracles of angels to stop it.
And this is why.
It is very provocative that a government starts to give money to even people who have not even asked and leave to pay what they had already agreed.
Public Service Minister Dalmas Otieno set off the controversy on Monday when he announced a 53% pay hike for a section of civil servants. On the other hand, the teachers' pay rise was staggered until July 2013. The disgruntled teachers are now threatening to take drastic measures owing to the fact that their 1997 pay rise agreement has not been implemented in full. Under the proposed terms, at entry level, a teacher who would have otherwise been entitled to a basic salary of 13,750 shillings would take home 74,250 shillings, inclusive of allowances, while the highest earning teacher would go from a salary of 120,270 shillings to a take-home package of 649,458 shillings, with allowances and a 300% pay rise, but exclusive of hardship, responsibility and special school allowances. In April, the Kenya National Union of Teachers issued another strike notice, urging the government to begin negotiations on the implementation of the 300% pay hike. The Public Service Minister attempted to pacify the teachers, saying the move was not meant to sideline them. But this time, teachers say they shall not be dissuaded from their goal.
Government wants to avert a strike action that has never been seen in this country. It must engage us, clear our money, and engage us in proper negotiations and pay the teachers.
Will Kitengela, KTN Prime.
Some sad news now. Dozens of people are missing after a ferry carrying more than 250 people from the Tanzanian port town of Dar es Salaam capsized off the coast of Zanzibar. So far, the Tanzanian government has confirmed that 20 bodies have been retrieved while 10 survivors have been rescued. The ferry, the MV Salama, set sail from Tanzania's mainland at around midday, heading to Zanzibar before the accident occurred. It still remains unclear what caused that particular accident. accident near the Chumbe Island west of Zanzibar. Tanzanian police and Navy officials have commenced investigations into the accident. More than 200 people perished in September 2011 when another ferry, Spice Islander, capsized in Zanzibar in what was one of the worst maritime disasters in Africa in a decade. The accident was attributed to overcrowding.
The Kenya Wildlife Service officers are searching for 3 elephants that strayed from the Amboseli Park. 2 of the animals were found this morning in Kitengela after residents spotted the animals on their land. This comes a day after Maasai elders demanded that KWS Director Dr. Julius Kipngetich makes a date to meet them if the human-wildlife conflict currently being witnessed in the area is to be contained.
Wednesday morning, and the residents of Kisaju in Kitengela wake up to a jumbo menace. These elephants invading their land and destroying vegetation uninterrupted. The 5 elephants uprooted trees, electricity poles and anything in their way. Cautious of the ravaging beasts, the landowners kept their distance, hoping that their wild enemies will soon leave. However, hours passed without any sign of the animals' departure, prompting them to report the matter to the Kenya Wildlife Service. KWS officers arrived in their chopper ready to drive the animals away in a matter of minutes. However, they did not budge. It was after a number of stunts that only 2 out of 5 elephants were driven back to the park. The officers are unaware of the whereabouts of the other 3. Yesterday, Masai Morans warned KWS to contain the wild animals in a stormy gathering, where they also issued an ultimatum to the KWS director to meet them if further nasty encounters between wildlife and people are to be averted.
Na tutakupatia siku chache sana. Na ikintoa hiyo ngolo mikotri. Uje uonane na sisi. Hilo rua duare hiyo. La sivyo. Ne ni miasana. Uchukue wanyama yako ukafungie kwa park. Todo mumwe sinono bokin.
Cases of human-wildlife conflict have been on the increase, with the communities demanding compensation for wildlife menace. For KTN Prime, I'm Betty Kialo.
A Belgian man tonight is spending the night in police custody after he was arrested in Mombasa for allegedly having sexual contact with underage girls. The 59-year-old man, who insists he is innocent, is said to have been engaging in the sexual activities with young girls from Kisauni constituency over the last 2 years. While his arrest comes days after a woman was arrested for allegedly prostituting her children to the said man. Esther Kahumbi reports.
No. It's the starter of a man at pains to explain just why he had on his computer numerous pictures of underage girls who are said to be frequent and almost the only visitors he gets at his Kisauni home in Mombasa County. The 59-year-old man, Alain Robert, from Belgium, being confronted with allegations of defiling underage girls, allegations which he maintains are far from the truth.
Anasema ati anawasaidia yeye kuja kucheza na kompyuta, kuona TV cartoons, alafu anampatia pesa ya kwenda kusaidia mamake. Mamake wako na watoto 5, alafu anampatia pesa inaenda kuwasaidia watoto wengine na kumlipia huyo asha shule.
Robert is said to be one of the many foreigners using their financial advantage to prey on young girls in Mombasa. But even then, they are not all to blame. Police claim to receive numerous reports of parents trading their children for prostitution with such foreigners.
Mama amekubali ya kwamba yeye ameona mtoto kuna kitu ambacho anasaidika, anapelekewa pesa, anapeleka chakula nyumbani. So ameona yeye amepata, kumbe amepatwa yeye.
Robert's arrest comes just days after police took in a lady who gets paid to bring her children to engage in the act with the man. Child prostitution is one of the causes of the increasing number of school dropouts at the coast, with parents preferring to use their children for easy money with tourists. Esther Kahumbi, KTN Prime, Mombasa.
The government has taken measures to prosecute police officers who were involved in the torture of civilians during the post-election violence period of 2008.
Well, police spokesman Eric Kiraive, who is part of the group that has traveled to that country, attending a United Nations Committee on Human Rights conference in Geneva, said 44 police officers have so far appeared in court. The Kenyan delegations, led by Justice Minister Eugene Wamalwa, they presented Kenya's scorecard in tackling human rights violations.
A of our Constitution.
The Kenyan delegation at the Geneva UN Human Rights Committee conference has put up a strong defense of Kenya's record. The last day of a session focusing on Kenya saw police spokesman Eric Kiraive explain the progress of investigations into the killing of civilians by police during the 2008 post-election violence.
The government has carried out investigation, and between 2006 and 2011, 44 police officers were prosecuted following investigations of torture-related cases. Such cases include assault, grievous harm, indecent assault, and conspiracy to defeat the cause of justice.
The UN Human Rights Committee has also asked Kenya to explain what the state has done so far to cooperate with the International Criminal Court, which is prosecuting 4 Kenyans in connection with post-election violence.
The government of Kenya has officially established a multi-agency task force to undertake a countrywide audit of all post-election violence cases under investigation and pending before court, with a view to recommending ways and means of ensuring their fair and speedy determination.
Other issues discussed included Kenya's role in abolishing female genital mutilation, its policy on child abuse and trafficking, as well as what measures have been put in place to reduce gender violence. The UN will release a report on the status of human rights in Kenya on Friday. Edith Kimani, KTN Prime.
Let's bring you some drama that's unfolding at the National Hospital Insurance Fund, where this time it's after Acting Chief Executive Officer Adan A. Adan defied a ministerial directive to return to his previous post.
Well, there has been a standoff at the CEO's office that began yesterday after Medical Services Minister Professor Anyang' Nyong'o reinstated suspended Chief Executive Richard Kerich and directed Adan to hand over the office back to Kerich.
Well, the minister maintains that he is following the law, and so Wendia reports.
Medical Services Minister Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, acting on advice from the Director of Public Prosecution Keriako Tabiko, has reinstated suspended National Health Insurance Fund Chief Executive Richard Kerich. The minister also directed acting CEO Adan A. Adan to hand over back to Kerich and return to his post at the ministry. KTN has learnt that Kerich reported to work on Tuesday this week, but Adan is still in office. To confirm that, Adan called a press conference to which he sent his General Manager, Benefits and Quality Assurance, Dr. George Midiwo, to represent him. Dr. Midiwo's assignment was to deny allegations that Adan accredited 77 health facilities which the Medical Practitioners Board, the licensing body, had not licensed.
If the board is aware that there are facilities that are not registered, it is their duty to ensure they don't exist. The mandate to close the facility or to open one, in that case, lies squarely with the Medical and Practitioner Board.
Asked where the author of his statement, Adan A. Adan, was,
our Chief Executive has been called to an urgent meeting.
Sources within NHIF, however, confirmed that at the time of this media conference, Adan was in the CEO's office. Dr. Midiwo denied reports that Kerich reported to work.
We have no comment of such because we did not, I personally did not see him.
Medical Services Minister Professor Anyang' Nyong'o defended his move, one that has surprised the Doctors' Union.
We are saying that in the bid to maintain integrity of this particular body, NHIF is a key pillar in health services delivery, then there should be no room for people who have been implicated in impropriety.
As the drama unfolded at the CEO's office at NHIF, Professor Nyong'o was meeting with various players in medical insurance, including unions, doctors and private insurers, to discuss the highly divisive topic of social insurance. But it was clear from this meeting that no one was ready to cede any ground. Notably, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance still opposes increasing of members' contributions to the National Health Insurance Fund and wants government to inject money from the taxpayer to run the scheme. Private insurance firms, on the other hand, argue that NHIF services are neither equitable nor sustainable. The quest for a universal health cover or social insurance for every single Kenyan failed in the year 2005. Now, recent wrangles at the National Health Insurance Fund have no doubt derailed this process yet again. Now, even as the Minister for Medical Services brings together stakeholders to try and adopt a common position on this matter, it is clear that the Minister is in for a big and long fight. Anso Mwendia, KTN, Nairobi.
Yes, and that fight Anso is referring to is what Anyang' Nyong'o has termed as the scandal that never was, saying that allegations that, providers like clinics and Meridian got monies that for clinics that were not even set up are all baseless.
Well, indeed, and this matter went to the Prime Minister's office. Prime Minister, after a meeting, sent Adan to that office. Now, the Minister is calling him back to Afri House. Indeed, this is drama. That is the topic of our big question tonight. We are asking you, do you support the reinstatement of NHIF CEO Dr. Richard Karich?
Please do send us your yes or no response. The number is 8040. We as always look forward to getting your feedback. We'll be bringing you the poll result, reading out some of your text messages at the end of this bulletin while you are watching KTN Prime just ahead.
We'll be right here because we'll be bringing you the story of a man's close shave with death after a botched suicide attempt.
Milk.
Solutions and answers are not far away, especially if you know how to pray effectively. A new book by best-selling author Pastor Chris Oyakilome, PhD.
This book is very important. The title is How to Pray Effectively, Volume 1. I'm bringing out this book for your sake, all of you all around the world, so you can learn to pray effectively. Many people pray, but they're not effective in their prayer. And I want you to be effective because God wants us to be effective.
You can get your copy by calling the numbers now showing on the screen, or send a mail.
African dishes in association with Golden Fry. How to prepare mahamri. Ingredients: 3 cups all-purpose flour, 1 level teaspoon dry yeast, 1 tablespoon Bidis margarine, 1 egg, 3/4 cup sugar, 1 cup coconut milk, half a cup milk optional, 1 teaspoon cardamom powder, golden fry oil for frying. Instructions: in a glass bowl, mix the eggs, milk, Bidis margarine, coconut milk, cardamom and sugar until smooth. In the mixture, add the flour and knead into smooth and elastic dough. Divide the dough into 4 portions, then set aside covered with a kitchen cloth and leave in a warm place to rest for 1 to 2 hours. If the dough is not elastic enough, add some all-purpose flour. After 1 to 2 hours, lightly knead the dough well and roll out, rolling in one direction to ½ inch thick. Cut into triangle shapes. In a deep frying pan, heat the golden fry oil. Once hot, deep fry the triangular shaped dough until golden brown on both sides. Drain on kitchen paper, sprinkle lightly with icing sugar, then serve.
Golden Fry. Fries more, lasts longer.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Chibi. I'm in high school. When I grow up, I want to be a banker because I like to play with numbers when I was young. I want to use big because I want to write my future.
Think big, write big.
second to come out of hiding and 1 second to attack you.
Mosquito bites cause malaria.
1 second to infect you.
Not anymore. Now I won't give any of you even 1 second.
New Mortin Doom Power Guard.
Mortin Doom!
Mortin Doom Power Guard with new scientifically proven powerful formula not only kills faster but also longer by killing mosquitoes that surface later, and it keeps killing for up to 1 week.
Even 1 second counts when it's my family's protection.
Come on, they're asleep.
New Mortin Doom Power Guard. Nothing kills faster and keeps killing for longer.
Before the gold, silver, and bronze, it's the red. It's the green and yellow. It's the black, red, and green. Because at the Olympic Games, it's not the color you go home with that matters. It's the colors you came in. And when colors mean this much, you can only trust them to Ariel, proud keeper of Kenya's colors.
Susanna, is it really you?
Tell me, is your toilet completely clean?
Of course. I use detergents.
Let's see.
Look, you can see my toilet is clean.
Is it really sparkling clean? Detergents cannot remove tough stains nor kill germs. They only cover them. Germs and stains are still there. That's why you need new Harpic Power Plus. With its advanced 5 times formulation, just one application is 5 times better than detergents, keeping your toilet sparkling clean and free from all germs.
Wow, I can't believe it. Now I will only use new Harpic Power Plus for my toilet.
New Harpic Power Plus, 5 times better than detergents.
At UAP, we enhance lives across Africa. Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP, better, simple life.
I will pray for all the people of this land, and I will hold them close to me. Hey, yeah, yeah. All I need is a here right here in Africa. Here in Africa. All I need is a here right here in Africa. To give your seeds, oh, start me, Africa. I love you, Africa. I love you, Africa. I love you, Africa. I love you, yeah. I love you, Africa. I love you, yeah.
It's simple. The more queues you avoid, the more you can make of your day. Go straight to the store or fill up without stopping at the ATM or bank. Visa debit card. It's fast, convenient, and safer than carrying cash. More people around the world go with Visa.
Welcome back. You're watching KTN Prime. Now let's bring you some breaking news. This is coming from Wajir, where some twin blasts have occurred just a short while ago, and we can confirm that 4 people have died in those twin blasts in Wajir town. Twin blasts occurred in Wajir town.
4 people have been injured, I believe, in those twin blasts. As Latif has told you, this is news just coming in. We're working our sources to bring you the exact details. Twin blasts that took place a short while ago, injuring 4. We're working to let you know the details. But first, a man who tried to commit suicide in Malindi got more than he bargained for when the lesser he was using to hang himself with snapped, only to plunge him into a 100-foot septic pit. Rescuers who rushed to pull him out threatened to throw him back into the pit for attempting to take his life in the first place, only for the then scared man to begin pleading for his life. KTN's Angel Katusia with more.
The face of a man who tried in vain to take his life. His plan had been all laid out. Using a lasso, he had planned to hang himself. However, the plan backfired when the fabric he had selected snapped. What happened next is what has left the residents of Serena village in Malindi in shock. The man known only as Obama fell from the tree he had tied the lasso on into this death trap. 100 feet deep septic pit. His screams for help attracting attention from villagers.
Tulivyochungulia ndani tukasikia mtu anapumua kama ng'ombe. Sasa alivyomuita jina lake akaitikia, afa akapanda kwenye ngazi kidogo tukaonyesha kwamba yuko hai.
Locals were, however, unable to pull the man out of the pit as it was too deep, forcing them to seek the help of the Malindi Municipal Council Fire Brigade. When the officers arrived, they pulled a clearly shaken Obama of the depth of earth. But before he could be rescued, locals threatened to throw him back to the pit to die, arguing that the man had in the first place wanted to die. As soon as he was rescued, Obama was rushed to the hospital to nurse bruises he had suffered during the fall. Lucky day indeed for Obama. For KTN Prime, I'm Angel Katusia.
URP leader William Ruto says he will officially ditch ODM party in December to seek the presidential vote on a URP ticket. Ruto has cautioned politicians who are scheming to ride on his coattails to get nominations for various elective posts that they are in for a rude shock. Here is Patrick Amimo with more.
At least 20 sitting members of parliament elected on different party tickets attended this United Republican Party forum at Nyayo Stadium. The meeting brought together aspirants seeking to run on the party's ticket for various elective posts at national and county assemblies. At the Milimani Law Courts, friends of Raila Lobby Group were pushing their case to compel the acting registrar of political parties, Lucy Ndungu, to use media reports and video evidence to help her find party-hopping MPs and have them kicked out of parliament. URP party leader William Ruto, who has left ODM, dismissed the Fora case and advised MPs and councillors who have jumped to URP from other parties to ditch their sponsoring parties on the eve of the new year.
Tumepunguza ile ilikuwa 3 months, bwana Murkomen alisema hapa tukapunguza ikakuja 60 days. Sio kwa sababu tulikuwa tunafanya ujanja, lakini tulikuwa tunataka kila mtu awe comfortable. Sina maana siku ile tukihama wenye kwenda kutini wanaanza kwenda kutini.
Politicians hoping to ride on Ruto's influence to win elective posts at national and county assemblies were told it will be everybody for himself.
Where you sit today in this meeting is irrelevant. After the elections, the people will have decided who will sit where in our.
Some delegates said the party's nomination fee for county, women and youth representative positions was prohibitive.
If indeed the fee we are charging is prohibitive to those candidate groups, then we will have to address that issue.
There is nobody who will be barred from being a candidate of URP on account that they don't have money.
This forum provided a gauge for the party to measure how deep it has penetrated the grassroots. Apart from that, members were assured that it will be a level playing field when it comes to nomination of members. For KTN, I am Patrick Amimo.
Well, property of an unknown value and crucial documents were destroyed yesterday night at the Makindu Magistrate's courts. Witnesses say the court was petrol-bombed by unidentified persons. No suspect linked to the incident has been apprehended so far, as police seek to establish the motive behind that attack. Administration police officers at the District Commissioner's quarters just adjacent to the court say the petrol bomb was hurled at the resident magistrate's chambers at around 8 p.m. The officers rushed to the scene and put out the fire. Only the magistrate's chambers were destroyed during the attack.
Let's remind you a big story today. We are asking you whether you support the reinstatement of NHIF CEO Richard Karich. Well, he has been reinstated by the Minister Anyang Nyong'o, who has ordered Aden to report back to Afia House. We're asking you, do you support the reinstatement of Richard Karich to the NHIF?
Yeah, please do send us, as you already are, your yes or no opinions. The number is 8040. We will give you the poll result, of course, and sample some of your views at the end of this live newscast. We'll take a short break. We'll be back after these.
This document has made a number of allegations. 1, on the ICC process. 2, on the institution of the presidency. 3, on the institution of the Prime Minister. 4, on the outcome of the next general election. 5, on the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya. 6, on witness coaching. Now, if we knew the answers, then we'll not be calling you.
Lives across Africa. Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP, better, simple life.
Habari njema kwa Wakenya wote kuhusu tume mpya ya uchaguzi isiyoegemea upande wowote.
IEBC, your vote, your future. Natural beer, sugar-free, truly Kenyan.
That's right. Yeah, I wanna say, where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my
Milk. From downtown to upcountry, from hard at work to hard at work.
The NP300 hardbody boasts a tough engine and uncomplicated design. With the TD27 2.7-liter diesel engine, the NP300 has a host of performance and design upgrades, as well as has been proven to be tough, reliable, and durable workhorse in its class. The NP300 Hichoki is the ideal business choice and offers exceptional return on investment. So, whether you're self-employed, a sole trader typically working in remote locations or construction sites, or whether you do landscaping projects or agriculture, the NP300 hard body is the pickup for you.
Nani kama Nisa?
Time to migrate your analog TV to the beautiful new world of digital television. Simply buy an approved DVB T2 set-top box from an authorized dealer today for the crispest, clearest pictures and sound to your favorite TV station and many more. Digital TV, a beautiful new world of entertainment.
Well, a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to your home of business. My name is Boni Tunya. Now, attempts to revive the defunct Busia sugar mills could be headed to another brick wall over what could be described as political undertones clouds the process. With 3 farms already shortlisted for the area, sources indicate sugarcane farmers in the area could end up with investor not up to the task to deliver its promises.
The quest to revive Busia sugar mills has over the years been met with one controversy after the other. This has resulted to a disillusioned cane farming community in the county as they contend with supplying their cane to Mumias Sugar Company hundreds of kilometers away. However, concerted efforts of stakeholders in the industry to offer relief to the farmers could be entering its last stages, offering hope to thousands of residents in the county who rely on cane farming. According to documents seen by KTN, by January 2012, 5 farms had applied to set up a sugar mill in Busia near Nambale. Among them were African Polysacs, Sherry Sugar Investments, West Kenya, and Kaplon Limited. However, the Kenya Sugar Board, the agency charged with licensing sugar mills in the country, narrowed down to 3 prospective investors, which included the Africa Polysacs, Mauritius-based Sherry Sugar, and West Kenya. The document further indicates that the board in its conclusion found the application of West Kenya and Kaplon Limited to be incomplete. Therefore, the two did not satisfy the requirement for mill registration. But in a twist of events, West Kenya alongside Sherry Investments and Africa Polysacs was shortlisted, raising questions on just how it managed to get through the process. Additionally, questions over its ability to set up another mill while it has been holding a license for the last 3 years for construction of a factory in Bungoma region have silently been raised. On the other hand, the documents from the board notes that Sherry Investments had not indicated who its actual directors were, but had already contacted both the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Agriculture of their intention to set up a sugar mill in Busia. But amid all this is also the question of the current contract that Mumias Sugar has with local farmers. This will further complicate issues for the successful farm, since it will have to offer better pricing and incentives to the farmers for it to realize the dreams of Busia Sugar Mill and the farmers around it, something that might not be easy considering Mumias Sugar's financial muscles. Joseph Bonyo for KTN Business Today.
And now a storm is brewing between the board and the management of the National Oil Corporation over the style of management at the parastatal. This comes as the board and management teams today issued different statements with regards to why the companies skipped a hearing with the Parliamentary Committee on Energy back in May. Now, members of the committee also allude to the fact that there are reports that wrangles between the two was compromising business operations for the oil marketer.
When the Parliamentary Committee on Energy summoned the management team from NOG, it received a written correspondence suggesting that the team could not appear before the committee pending clearance by the Oil Marketers Board. However, when the board chairman, Peter Munga, appeared before the committee on Wednesday, he denied knowledge of such correspondence.
I talked to a few members of the board, and I was never given the impression that some maybe the other members did not take it as a very important point. But the members I talked to, various committees of the board, they never mentioned to me that indeed that took place.
According to National Oil Managing Director Sumaya Athmani, the issue stems from a retreat organized by the committee and the management team, where information regarding the meeting reached the board that raised some concern. This was to be followed by 2 unscheduled board meetings with the directors out to stamp their authority.
But because of the concerns that had been raised, I deemed it fit and prudent to engage the Energy Committee, because if my board was calling a meeting specifically to discuss the retreat, I felt that the other party to this retreat, which is this committee, should give their input on what transpired during the retreat, because it was management and the committee.
Despite the clear friction between the board and management, the two still insist that they are working together and dismiss any talk of disharmony. Following failure to appear before the legislators, the committee was preparing itself to take on the chairman, who they accused of having vested interest in the company, and went as far as to call for the dissolution of the board. Michael Karanja, KTN Business Today.
Now, in a virtual world popularity contest, Google Plus is beating Facebook. The one-year-old social network tops a list